Did you ever advise the White House or the National Security Advisor or the President of those concerns about the Bureau and/or the Director?
When you say concerns about the director, I had a good working relationship with the director. I mean, we might have disagreements, but concerns, that's...
Sure.
It was common knowledge that one of the problems was that the Bureau sometimes didn't know what it had and that it didn't share the information. I think some of my frustration was urged on, if you will, by the National Security Council. And I told them what I was trying to do. I told them of the problems we had, the problems with respect to automation, and I don't recall ever briefing the President on it.
We have considered proposals for a new agency dedicated to intelligence collection in the United States. Some call this a proposal for an American MIL5. Although the analogy is weak, the actual British Security Service is a relatively small worldwide agency that combines duties assigned in the United States to the Terrorist Threat Integration Center, the CIA, the FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security. The concern about the FBI is that it has a long favored and criminal justice mission over its national security mission. Part of the mission for this is the demand around the country for FBI help on criminal matters. The FBI was criticized rightly for the overzealous domestic intelligence investigations disclosed during the 1970s. The pendulum swung away from those types of investigations during the 1980s and 1990s. Though the FBI maintained an active counterintelligence function, it was the lead agency for the investigation of foreign terrorist groups operating inside the United States. We do not recommend the creation of a new domestic intelligence agency. It is not needed if our other mechanisms are adopted. To establish a strong national intelligence center, part of the NCTC, that will oversee counterterrorism intelligence work, foreign and domestic, and to create a national intelligence director who could set and enforce standards for the collection, processing, and reporting of information. Under the structures we recommend, the FBI's role is focused, but still vital. The FBI does not need to be able to direct its thousands of agents and other employees to collect intelligence in America's cities and towns, interviewing informants, conducting surveillance and searches, tracking individuals, working collaboratively with local authorities, and doing so with meticulous attention to detail and compliance with the law. The FBI's job in the streets of the United States would be thus a domestic equivalent operating under the U.S. Constitution and quite different laws and rules to the job of the CIA's operations officers abroad. Creating a new domestic intelligence agency has other drawbacks. One, the FBI is accustomed to carry out sensitive intelligence collection operations in compliance with the law. If a new domestic intelligence agency were outside the Department of Justice, the process of legal oversight, never easy, could become even more difficult. Abuses of civil liberties could create a backlash that would impair the collection of needed intelligence. Two, creating a new domestic intelligence agency would divert attention of the officials most responsible for current counterterrorism efforts while the threat remains high. Putting a new player into the mix of federal agencies with counterterrorism responsibilities would exacerbate existing information sharing problems. Three, new domestic intelligence agency would need to acquire assets and personnel. The FBI already has 28,000 employees, 56 field offices, 400 satellite offices, and 47 legal attaché offices, a laboratory, operations center, and training facility, an existing network of informants, cooperating defendants, and other sources, and relationships with state and local law enforcement, the CIA, and foreign intelligence and law enforcement agencies. Four, counterterrorism investigations in the United States very quickly become matters that involve violations of criminal law and possible law enforcement action. Because the FBI can have agents working criminal matters and agents working intelligence investigations concerning the same international terrorism target, the full range of investigative tools against a suspected terrorist can be considered within one agency. Removal of the wall that existed before 9/11 between intelligence and law enforcement has opened up new opportunities for cooperative action within the FBI. 5. Counterterrorism investigations often overlap or they are cued by other criminal investigations, such as money laundering or the smuggling of contraband. In the field, the close connection to criminal work also has many benefits. Commission recommends to leave counterterrorism intelligence collection in the United States, with the FBI still depending on an assessment that the FBI, if it makes an all-out effort to institutionalize change, can do the job. As we mentioned in Chapter 3, we have been impressed by the determination that agents display in tracking down details patiently, going the extra mile and working the extra month, put facts in the place of speculation. In our report, we have shown how agents in Phoenix, Minneapolis, and New York displayed initiative in pressing their investigations. FBI agents and analysts in the field need to have sustained support and dedicated resources to have become stronger intelligence officers. You need to be rewarded for acquiring informants and for gathering and disseminating information differently, more broadly than usual in a traditional criminal investigation. FBI employees need to report and analyze what they have learned in ways the Bureau has never done before.